Namaste students. Yesterday we had discussed about exercise problems of chapter 1 NCERT book, and we had discussed question number 1 to 6. Today let us start question number 7 of chapter 1. Question number 7 is that write the balanced chemical equation for the following reactions. Write the balanced chemical equations for the following reactions. Question number 7 and 7a. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. The formula of calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice, and carbon dioxide, CO2. This forms calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and water, formula of water, H2O. So calcium hydroxide, this is carbon dioxide, this is calcium carbonate, and H2O is water. So this chemical equation is already balanced because number of atoms in calcium hydroxide is 1, while in product side calcium is also 1. Number of hydrogen atom 2, OH2, that is 2 atom of hydrogen. Here also the number of atom in product side is also 2, and oxygen 4, 3 plus 1, 4, and 1 carbon here in the form of carbon dioxide, and in product side in CaCO3 1 carbon atom is present. So it is balanced chemical equation. Second one, zinc reacts with silver nitrate. The formula symbol of zinc is Zn, and formula of silver nitrate AgNO3, and it forms zinc nitrate, ZnNO3 whole twice plus silver. Here we see that number of nitrate ion is 1 in reactant side, while in product side nitrate ion is 2. So we multiply into 2 AgNO3, 2 AgNO3, and that's NO3 twice, here also 2 NO3, but the number of Ag here in reactant side is 2, so we have to write in product side 2 Ag, and that makes number of atoms equal in reactant side as well as product side. C. Aluminium reacts with copper chloride. Symbol of aluminium is Al, and copper chloride CuCl2. It forms aluminium chloride AlCl3 plus copper. Here we also see that number of aluminium atom is 1, 1, copper 1, but the number of atoms of chlorine here in reactant side 2, while in product side is 3. So we write 2AlCl3, and here we write 3CuCl 2 2Al and 3Cu, and this is now balanced. Number D, barium chloride, BaCl2. Formula of barium chloride reacts with potassium sulfate, K2SO4. Potassium sulfate, it forms barium sulfate, BaSO4, and potassium chloride, formula KCl. So SO4 sulfate ion 1, while in reactant side also 1, but barium is also 1, and in reactant side is also 1, but the number of atoms in reactant side of potassium and chlorine is 2, while in product side 1, so it multiplied into 2 KCl. That becomes balanced chemical equation. One thing I once again clear that how can we write chemical formula? So we know that write their valency, that means the charge present on particular ion, and after crisscross, just for example, we have to write the chemical formula of barium chloride. So Ba for barium and chloride for Cl, valency, that is charge in barium 2 plus, so we write 2, and while chlorine 1, and after crisscross we get the formula BaCl2. Similarly, potassium sulfate formula KSO4, the charge on potassium 1, while in sulfate 2 minus, so after crisscross we get K2SO4. Similarly, aluminum chloride, aluminum and chloride for Cl, aluminum have 3 plus while chloride had 1 minus, so after crisscross we get formula aluminum chloride. So we have already known about this chemical formula in class 9th, atoms and molecules, chapter number 3. Next, question number 8. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each case. So we have to write balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction. So start question 8a, potassium bromide, KBr aqueous. Potassium bromide reacts with barium iodide. Formula of barium iodide Ba(I2), because barium have 2 plus charge and iodide had 1 minus. So formula Ba(I2). In the form of aqueous, it forms potassium iodide, Ki aqueous, plus barium bromide, BaBr2, in the form of solid, that is precipitate form, downward arrow. So here we see that potassium bromide in the form of aqueous, barium iodide in the form of aqueous. After reaction, it forms potassium iodide aqueous and BaBr2 in the form of solid, that is precipitate form. So firstly, we balance this chemical equation. Here for potassium is 1 in reactant side as well as product side. Bromine in product side 2 while in reactant side is 1, so 2 kBr, and here I 2 while in product side 1, so here we multiplied into 2 Ki. This chemical equation is balanced. We have to identify this chemical equation, write the name of the chemical equation. So here we see that K plus Br minus Ba 2 plus I minus, and here plus K plus I minus Ba 2 plus and Br minus 2 Br minus, so 2 atom of Br are present. So we see that here exchange of ions takes place, and such type of chemical reaction in which exchange of ion takes place is known as double displacement. Double displacement reaction, and in double displacement reaction it is the precipitation reaction, because in this reaction precipitate is formed. So we can also say that it is precipitation reaction. Number 2, zinc B, zinc carbonate in the form of solid after heating. Zinc carbonate in the form of solid after heating it convert into zinc oxide solid plus carbon dioxide in the form of gas. It is already balanced chemical equation, so we have to identify the type of chemical reaction. So here we see that one reactant breaks up into more than one product, so it is decomposition reaction in the form of thermal decomposition, because this reaction carried out in the presence of heat, so it is also say that thermal decomposition. See, hydrogen gas H2 gas react with chlorine gas to form HCl hydrogen chloride gas. So here 2 atom of hydrogen, 2 atom of chlorine, and here in product side 1 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of chlorine. So we use 2 as a coefficient that is responsible for balancing this chemical equation. Here we see that 2 chemical substances combine to form a single product, so it is combination reaction. D, magnesium in the form of solid reacts with hydrochloric acid HCl in the form of aqueous to form magnesium chloride aqueous, as well as evolution of hydrogen gas. So here we have to balance, because the number of chlorine atom is 1 while in product size is 2, and hydrogen is also 2, in reactant side is 1, so we write 2 HCl. Then after this chemical equation is balanced, and we have to identify the type of chemical reaction. So here we say that see that magnesium displaces hydrogen in hydrochloric acid, so form new substance magnesium chloride. So it is displacement reaction. Now next question number 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reactions? Give example. So students, exothermic reaction in which heat is released is known as exothermic reaction. Reaction in which heat is released is known as exothermic reaction. As for example, respiration is an exothermic reaction because we get food, and after our food having carbohydrate, and this carbohydrate decompose into glucose, and this glucose, that is C6H12O6, reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide plus water plus energy in the form of heat. This chemical reaction releases heat, and this heat is the form of energy, and this energy is the capacity to do work. So respiration process, after reaction heat is released, so it is an example of exothermic reaction. Here we have to balance this chemical equation. C6H12O6 in the form of aqueous, O2 in the form of aqueous, CO2 in the form of aqueous, and H2O in the form of liquid. Here we see that number of carbon atom is 6, here 1, number of hydrogen atom is 12, here 2, so here 6 CO2, 6 H2O, and the number of oxygen atoms 6 2 are 12 plus 6 18, 6 to 8, here 6 2 are 12 plus 6 18. This chemical equation is balanced. So respiration is a exothermic chemical reaction because in this process heat is released. Second is endothermic reaction in which heat is absorbed reaction in which heat is absorbed is known as endothermic chemical reaction. And the students, photosynthesis is the process in which plants makes their food in the presence of sunlight. So amount of heat energy is required, and that is responsible for making the food for plant. So photosynthesis is endothermic chemical reaction in which, in the presence of carbon dioxide, water, amount of heat energy, in the presence of chlorophyll, plant makes their food, glucose C6H12O6 plus oxygen. Here carbon dioxide in the form of aqueous H2O liquid, C6H12O6 in the form of aqueous, and O2 in the form of aqueous. After balancing C6H12O6, so here 6 CO2, 6 H2O, and here 6 O2. In this chemical reaction, we see that amount of heat energy required to formation of glucose. That's why yes, photosynthesis is known as endothermic reaction. Now, question number 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reaction? It is already completed. Question number 9. Now we have to discuss about question number 10. Why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction. Explain. So, students, we have already discussed in previous question number 9, and we see that in exothermic process we know that amount of heat energy is released, and in respiration process amount of heat energy released. That's why we can say that respiration considered as exothermic reaction. So we have to write, why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Respiration considered an exothermic reaction because amount of heat energy, respiration considered an exothermic reaction because amount of heat energy released in this process. And then after we write chemical equation which is given in 9 exothermic reaction. So students, we have discussed question number 10, and rest questions will be discussed in next lecture. So students, complete these question answer. Thank you.